Good morning to all.
Morning, sir.
Very good morning. Voice is okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. We are going to discuss the fungi general character. As yesterday we discussed some the remaining general characters, classification, nutrition, reproduction. That all we are going to discuss. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay. As we discussed yesterday, we know about the fungi. We have given the introduction about the fungi. Study about the fungi is called as mycology. You know the basic structure of the thallus is called as hyphae. That hyphae interconnected and it form the network-like structures. That network-like structure we call it as what we call it as? That network-like structure we call it as
Mycelium.
mycelium. Yeah, we discussed who is the father of mycology. That also we discussed. Micheli is the Italian scientist. And also we discussed the modern mycologist. Who is a modern mycologist?
Heinrich Anton D.
Yeah, Dibari. H.A. Dibari is a German scientist. We call him as a father of modern mycology as well as father of
Plant pathology.
plant pathology. Yeah. Who is the father of our Indian mycology and plant pathology?
Butler.
Butler. E.J. Butler is the father of Indian mycology and also father of plant pathology. Okay. As we discussed, the filamentous tube-like structure of the fungi thallus is called as hyphae. Hyphae interconnect and it forms the mycelium. The mycelium, study about that is called as mycology. Okay. Usually two types of the thallus are there now that we discussed now. What are those types of the thallus?
Hypochronic.
No, two types of the thallus that we discussed. Basically single cellular and filamentous.
Unicellular and
Yes,
unicellular and filamentous.
Filamentous, two types. Yes, good. Good. Unicellular and filamentous. Two types are there that we discussed. Okay, unicellular one are already discussed now. Yeast, Chytridium, Alpidium. You know, I already told you the importance of the yeast in the bakery and beverages. The single cellular organism that earning the billion trillion dollars of the money, giving the food to so many, you know, Bedavani food is the bread. Bedavani food bread. That bread is preparing by using of the yeast. You know.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bedavani fruit is the banana. Bedavani food is bread. Okay. The bread is preparing by using of the yeast in the process of fermentation. You know, the fermentation reaction, anaerobic reaction. And you know, one of the most important, another most important fungi, you know, the penicillium. Alexander Fleming, penicillin, antibiotic. It was discovered at the time of Second World War time. Even now, in highly technology era, we are using the same penicillin. Still, if any injuries, any damage, any bleedings, any for the antiseptic, we are using the TT injection, penicillin injection. You know, that also came from the fungi. That is Penicillium notatum, a Penicillium chrysogenum. Okay. And the filamentous thallus also, filamentous hyphae. We discussed the three types are they based upon the septa. We divided now. What are those? We already discussed. Septate,
Accepted.
acceptate,
Accepted.
and
Monocyte.
and septate, acceptate, and simple porous septa and dolichopore septa. Four types are there now. First one is acceptate, that means xenocytic, that are there in the zygomycotina, mucor, rhizopus, okay, red mold, black mold, pin molds, usual molds which are occur on wet bread, chapati, wet vegetables, usually it grows, okay. Upon that it is there, that are the mucors, okay. And the corona time. At the corona time, have you listened the mucormycosis?
Yes, sir.
Corona time. Yeah, that mucor attacked corona patients also. Who
Black.
they cure of black
Black
fungus.
fungus.
Yes, that one is the mucor. Mucor. We also called it as black fungi, black mold, pin mold, bread mold. Mold means fungi, mushrooms. Okay, black fungi. That is mucor. That's why we also call it mucormycosis. The diseases which caused by fungi is called as mycosis. We already told you now.
Yes,
Diseases
sir.
which caused by fungi is called as mycosis. Diseases causing by mucor is called as mucormycosis. Mucormycosis, that is black fungus disease. Because of unsterilization, long standing sitting bed upon the bed, or unsterilized salines or whatever it is, unsterilized medicine. By using of that, this mucor attack. This mucor is usually it grown on the carbohydrate. Where the more carbohydrates are there it grows. As like Saccharomyces cerevisiae, yeast. Yeast where it grows? Yeast name. What is the scientific name of the yeast?
Saccharomyces.
Saccharomyces. Myces, that means fungi. Shakara, sugar. Cerevisiae is survive on sugar. Fungi which surviving on sugar. That's why named it as Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Cerevisiae means survive. Surviving on sugar. Which one is surviving? Mice, fungi. Fungi which surviving on sugar. That's why named it as Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Okay. As like mucor also, mucor, rhizopus, these also grown on carbohydrates. Where the carbohydrates are there? That's why the sugar patients, diabetic patients who affected with the corona, even after curing of the corona, they get infected with this mucor. Not all the corona infected patients, only sugar patients, diabetic patients are affected with the mucor after curing from the corona. Why? They're having plenty of the sugar carbohydrates in their body. That's why it's grown in their body. It's not grown in all our body. Okay, you don't bother about it, mucor. Okay, where the highest amount of the sugar content is there, diabetic patients, their blood vessels, it started grow, and first infected one is the eyes. Why? The very small sensitive nerves are there, the eyes. Okay, that's the one of the mucor, one of the drastic effect occur at the corona time by the who? By the mucor. Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, by the mucor, due to mucor it infected the diabetic patient, those who cure the corona from the corona. Okay, and then that is a xenocytic. That hyphae is xenocytic, and usually septate hyphae is present. Yes, and then, but in some of them, What are
Yes.
there in the ascomystis? Ascomystis, what type it is? Simple porous. There is a small cavity, empty space in the septa. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and whereas in the other, the simple porous septa, and the next one is the Dali-pore septa. Which one?
Dalis. Basidiomyces.
Dali-pore. Yeah, that is there in the Basidiomyces. These two septa also we discussed now.
Yes, sir.
Simple porous septa is there in the Ascomycotina, and the Dali porous septa, perantozomes, రెండు కొబ్బరి చిప్పలాగా పగిలిన కొబ్బరి చిప్పలాగా ఉంటుంది. Okay, breaked coconut like structure. They having the swollen body, which having the two saucer like structures, which are jointed like this structure. That is perantozome. The combining of these peranthozomes with the porous space at the middle is commonly called as Dali-pore septa. Dali-pore, it looks like a jar, barrel, jar shaped septa. That's why we calling it as Dali-pore septa, which is there in the Basidiomyces.
Basidiomycetes.
Yes, the Basidiomycetes. The mushroom Basidiomycetes fungi. I already told you the cell wall. Cell wall is bacterial fungi. Cell wall is made up of it.
Chitin.
Chitin. Yeah, the chitin. We can stay in the fungal cell wall with the. You have stayed in the practical bacterial or fungi. You stay in with which one? Sapronina.
Lactophenol.
Yes, lactophenol blue, lactophenol cotton blue.
Cotton blue.
We can stay in with the lactophenol cotton blue. Fungi, we can stay with the lactophenol cotton blue. Okay, with that we can easily see the hyaline spores. No color spores also we can see. That we use to stain. Okay, and then some of the fungi are having the homokaryotic mycelium, and some of them are having the heterokaryotic. That means mycelium contains genetically identical nuclei, same nuclei, that is homokaryotic. That is usually commonly present in the almost all the fungi, but in some of the Basidiomycetes fungi, where there is a secondary mycelium, it taking the clamp connections, bridge, highway, bypass. That time in the sexual reproduction, what happened? Two opposite nucleus combine. It are there in the single cell. Like that, two genetically varied two nucleus also present in the single cell. That means genetically different nucleus are present in single cell. That is called as, that type of the mycelium is called as heterokaryotic. What we call it as heterokaryotic mycelium. Okay, homokaryotic and heterokaryotic. Another one, homothallic, heterothallic, that also are there. That we will discuss. Homothallic and heterothallic, that we will discuss. Here, we stay in the fungi with lactophenol. Okay, fungal cell wall is made up with chitin. Usually, all the plant cell wall is made up with cellulose. The animal cell wall is made up of usually animal, the arthropods, at outer layer, it is made up with the chitin. As like animal character also it having the fungi. Fungi, the fungi having the plant characters and animal character, both the characters it having. Can anybody say what are the plants character, what are the animal characters fungi having?
Euglena, sir.
No, that all are comes under Protista. Protista means, as per Whittaker classification, Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animalia. Protista, that means it having the both the character, Protista.
Heterotrophic nutrition, sir. As in
No.
animals?
Yeah, heterotrophic nutrition, as like animals. Yes, that's the one of the character. Whereas the plants are autotrophs, animals are heterotrophs. That heterotrophic character is there. You know the difference between algae and fungi. What are the difference between algae and fungi? I already told you the definition of algae and fungi.
Chlorophyllus, achlorophyllus, sir. Algae
Yes,
is the chlorophyllus.
in the algae, chlorophyll is present. In fungi, chlorophyll is absent. Okay, almost all the algae are aquatic. Almost all the fungi are terrestrial. Okay, algae have in the autotrophic nutrition, fungi have in the heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, you know all the algae are eukaryotics except blue-green algae, cyanobacteria. But all fungi are eukaryotic. All fungi are eukaryotic. You see, all the fungi are eukaryotic. All algae are also eukaryotic, but except blue-green algae. Okay, you know, I already told you the cell wall is composed of cellulose in algae in all the plants. But whereas in the fungi, cell wall is made up of it chitin. Okay, okay, and then you see, usually cells, each cell having the only single nucleus, uninucleate. But whereas we said just now, heteronucleus type, binucleate, multinucleate also is there na, cenocytic in the rhizopus nucleus. Binucleate, multinucleate cells also is there in the fungi. You know, usually the reserve food material in most of the plants and algae is starch. But here in the fungi, as like animals, in animals also material is glycogen. Okay, and then there is no parasites almost in the algae, but fungi, most of them are very common parasites. Okay, and then you know here the dikaryotic phase is present in the fungi that is not there in the algae. Dikaryotic space means I already told you whenever the clamp connections happen, that time what will be going to happen? You see the clamp connection means if it is a thallus having the septa, there is a bridge, highway, outer ring road formed in between the two adjacent cells, so that it bypass the nucleus cytoplasm from one cell to other cell, not the state where septa is there, that is stopping. But the nucleus move from one cell to other cell through the bypass, outer ring road, not in the tropic. Okay, not in the signals. Directly it comes from the bypass, outer ring road. It comes to the next cell. Nucleus enter from one to other. Okay, have you understood? That's why dikaryotic, two nuclear stage is present in the fungi, but it is not there in algae. Algae, it is absent. Okay, but whereas in the fungi, it is present only in the higher fungi, not in all the fungi. Okay, okay, that is the difference. Have you understood? This bypass clamp connections is very important in the Basidiomycotina. Clamp connections are there. Outer ring road. Okay. You see, the parasexual cycle is absent in algae, is present. Parasexual cycle we will discuss later. The parasexual cycle means it equal to sexual reproduction, but it is not the sexual reproduction. Whatever the reactions, whatever the activities which are occur in the sexual reproduction, that all be there in the parasexual reproduction, but it takes time. There is a time gap. You know, in the sexual reproduction, what are the three major steps which happen? You know, the plasmogamy, karyogamy, meiosis. These three steps are more important. These three steps occur in the sexual reproduction. Plasmogamy, that means cytoplasm, fusion of the cytoplasm of the two opposite sex, fusion of the cytoplasm. And the karyogamy, that means fusion of the two opposite nucleus, fusion of the two opposite nucleus, plasmogamy, karyogamy. And the next is meiosis, reduction division. After formation of the double diploid nucleus, it again take the reduction division and it form the haploid spores. Okay, these three steps are most important one. If these three steps happen, then only it will be called as sexual reproduction. Okay, have you understood? These are not there in the vegetative reproduction and asexual reproduction. Only in the sexual reproduction, these three stages are there. What are those three stages?
Plasmogamy,
Karyogamy.
karyogamy, meiosis.
Meiosis. Okay, yes, good. Plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis. Okay, you know these also not that much, but you should know the difference between the oomycetes and true fungi. You know, I already told you myxomycetes, myxomycota, and eumycota, false fungi, true fungi. I told you the false fungi and true fungi. Okay, that I already discussed now. This one. Hyper modifications also I discussed. You know, only one fungal group that having the flagella. Which one? I already told you. Only one fungal group that having the flagella. Motile spores. Have you remember or not? You forgot? You forgot, huh?
When you have discussed, sir, yesterday's class.
Yesterday, yes, in the yesterday class.
Yesterday I am absent. I am unable to attend your class.
Okay.
Me
Even
too,
even
sir.
in the practical class time also we discussed.
Oh, okay.
We discussed only one fungal group, Masticomycotina, that having the flagella. Remaining fungi having no flagella. That already discussed. Even in the practical class section also. In the introduction. We discussed it. Only the Masticomycotina, that means Chytridiomycetes. That means the Chytridiomycetes fungi that having the flagella. That having the
Example, sir.
Masticomycotina fungi. You know, that all having the flagellas. You see the, you know, the Pythium, Phytophthora, or some of the disease, the pathogenic fungi. It having the flagellas. But remaining fungi, Zygomycotina, Ascomycotina, Basidiomycotina, either Deuteromycotina, even Myxomycotina, having no flagella. Only the one. Oh, just a second. Battery
is running.
Okay. Only the Masticomycotina that having, also called as Chytridiomycetes, which having the chytrids, that means flagellas, are only one group, that is Masticomycotina. Okay, you remember flagellated, that means motile spores, which having the motile move, which show the movement. Okay, motile fungi are there only in the Masticomycotina. And the hyper modifications also I told you now. Plectenchyma divided into that all I told you. Yesterday class I discussed now this one. Again, no need to repeat.
Repeat, sir. Please repeat, sir.
Okay. Plectenchyma, that means where the network-like structure of the hyphae, I already told you, hyphae, if it network-like connection, it is interconnected, that we calling it as mycelium. Okay. That mycelium here how the hyphae are arranged. Based upon the arrangement of the hyphae, there is variations are there, various type of the structures are there that we all discussed. Okay, usually that are plectenchyma. Plectenchyma divided into two groups. If it is loosely arranged in the sequence, in the row, if it are loosely arranged, in the sequence in the row, it is loosely arranged. There is a gap. Have you seen these gaps? Much gap is there, and in the linear arrangement is there. This type of the parenchyma, we call it as prosenchyma. What we call it as prosenchyma. Okay. Whereas the other type, second one, the mycelium, hyphae are interconnected, interwoven, tightly coiled. Interconnected, interwoven, tightly coiled one. That we call it as pseudoparenchyma. What type it is?
Pseudoparenchyma.
Pseudoparenchyma.
It look like a parenchyma, but it is not the parenchyma. That's why
Pseudo.
false. Pseudo means false.
False.
False parenchyma. It looks like a parenchyma, but it is not the parenchyma. Okay, it is not the smooth tissue. Okay, it is not the parenchyma. Look like a parenchyma tissues. That's why we call it as pseudoparenchyma. Okay, these are the two types. And whereas other types also is there, that also we discussed. 8 types we discussed yesterday.
Oh my God.
8 type of the mycelial structures which are there based upon their arrangement. Based upon their arrangement, there is types are there that all we discussed. Okay. These are we have to. Okay. Mainly 8 types of the mycelial structures are there. That all we okay. Again, taking again for this. Okay, and the next one is sclerosium and rhizomorph. Sclerosium. You say where it is. Okay, the sclerosium, rhizomorph, aprosoria, hostoria, stroma, fungal traps. Okay, you see here. You see the types. There it is. Okay. You can see the rhizomorph and sclerosiums. How it is, this, I already told you, sclerosium, which are there in the ray plant, which is ergot, which causes the ergot disease, ergot of ray. Ergot of ray. From that, we extract the toxin that we are using for the treatment of cancer. Ergot of ray. Ray plant which affected with the ergot disease because of this sclerosium that release the toxins. That toxin we are extracting and we using in the as a medicine. Okay. This sclerosium like structure. You see the sclerosium. Sclerosium like structure by tightly coiling, by interweaving with the host cells. Okay. And then the rhizoma look like a root. Rhizome means root. Root-like structures. It looking like the root. That's why rhizoma. That's why we're calling it as rhizoma. Morphologically, it look like a root. Morphologically, look like a root. Hyphae, it are interwoven, it form a root-like structure. That's why rhizoma. Okay. And then aprosoria, aprosorias. And what are those? Sclerosium, we already discussed. Rhizomorph, we discussed. Okay. And then aprosoria, hostorias. Aprosorias, I already told you. Okay. How it? The saucer shape, cup shape structures. Upon the
Hyphae.
Hyphae. Upon the host, where it infected, where that infecting tube hyphae will become the cup. saucer, cup-like structure, or tube-like structure, or one tube-like structure. It forms the tube-like structure upon the host. That we call it as aprosoria. That means it is coming upon the host. It is coming upon the host as like a tubes, as like a tubes, or as like a balls. Okay. And the next one, the stroma. Stroma also I told you upon the host, cushion-like structures. Either if it is a stem, upon the stem, a cushion-like structure, that means bubbles, swollen bodies, black color, swollen bodies, which come out from the host. Black color, swollen, tightly coiled mycelial hyphae, which come out from the host, that we call it as what we call it as stroma. Suppose you, upon the leaves also you might have seen black sprouts upon the leaf. That is a stroma, fungal disease on the leaf or on the stem. These black spore structures. Okay. And the snares, that mean root-like. How it is? It coiled with the host. Coiled with the host, where the host plant it tightly coiled. It forms a root-like structures, appendages structures to the host. That is snares. Okay. And then the next one is very important one. I told you Haustoria. Haustorias, very important one. Almost all the parasitic plants it are having the special character, special tube-like structures that are called as Haustorium. It penetrate into the host. You see here the tube-like structure which are penetrated into the host cell, which are enter into the host cell. The tube-like structure which are enter into the, you see, this is the host plant. Okay. This is the fungi, hyphae, mycelium. This hyphae mycelium, it is forming the tube-like structure and it penetrating into the host tissues, either plant or animal, whatever it is, plant, suppose any plant. You might have seen the albugo section cutting, you have seen. Huh? You have seen albugo, white rust, and the section slide. Not in the practical, you have done the section cutting.
Albugo with it, sir.
Cystopus, albugo, cystopus. Practical class you have not attended?
No, sir, we had only Puccinia and
Sir, albugo, those are not, it seems they have conducted Puccinia and Cercospora. We didn't get albugo.
Okay, no problem. Leave it, let it be. Huh? We discuss here the Haustorium. Okay, the Haustorium, which are the tube-like structure which penetrate into the host to absorb the nutrition. Which absorb the nutrition from the host. Okay, that is called as Haustorium. I already told you 6 types of the Haustoriums are there. Haustoria, no, just you know the Haustoria. What is Haustoria? What is the function of it? That's it. No need to worry about all the 8 types. Okay. Haustoria, which is a tube-like structure which penetrates into the host, which absorb the nutrition from the host. Okay, that's it. And here intercellular type Haustorium and intracellular Haustorium and vesicle type Haustorium and finger-like projections like Haustoriums and clubbed type of the Haustoriums. Like this, various type of the Haustoriums are present. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 types of the Haustoriums: vesicles, arbuscles, finger-like projections and bunched cluster. Intercellular and intracellular. That means in between the cell tissues and within the tissues. Enter into the tissue. Okay. Intracellular and intercellular. And vascular, bulb shape, and finger-like, and club. These are the types of the hostorias which are useful to observe the nutrition from the host. Which are useful to observe the nutrition from the
Host
plant. Okay. And then we will go for the next fungal general calendar. We have to remove this one. And then various type of the thallus structures and homokaryotic and heterokaryotic. Homothallism and heterothallism. You know the heterothallism? Heterothallism. You know, it is there in the Aspergillus, mucor.
Yeah. Okay.
Heterothallism first discovered by A. Blacksley. A. Blacksley discovered the heterothallism. That means the two opposite stains. That means each stain plus and minus, two different stains are present. Within the single thallus, there is no reproduction, sexual reproduction will take place. If the same type of the thallus are come together, joined together, it will not take the sexual reproduction. It will cause for the death of any one thallus. That is the specificity of the some of the thalluses that having the heterothallus. That means hetero means different. Hetero means different. Heterothallism. Again, I have to heterothallism, homothallism, and heterothallism. Where it is homothallic and heterothallic. Homothallic and heterothallic. And the parasexual.
Sir, ఈ స్లైడ్స్ అన్ని గ్రూప్ లో షేర్ చేయండి సార్.
Even నేను different నుంచి యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను.
చూడండి అవైలబుల్ ఉన్నా సార్.
Okay. And then you can see the homothallic and heterothallic. Okay. You see what is the difference between homothallic and heterothallic? Homothallic means the single thallus, it can reproduce, it can take the fusion, that is homothallic. If the single stain, it may not be fused, there is a restriction that are heterothallic. That heterothallism, where it is actually heterothallism. Heterothallism first discovered by whom? I already told you, by whom?
Blacksley.
A. Blacksley. Heterothallism first discovered by A. Blacksley. That's why if the two opposite stain, plus and minus stain thallus comes together, then only it takes the sexual reproduction. Then only it takes the fusion. Otherwise, it is not, sexual reproduction will not take place. Fusion of the cells, fusion of the cytoplasm or nucleus will not take place. Okay, that is called as heterothallism. Heterothallism. Okay. And then we will go for the nutrition. Next one is the nutrition in the fungi. Next one is nutrition. You know the nutrition, how it take the food?
Heterotrophic nutrition.
Yeah, heterotrophic type of the
Saprotrophic nutrition.
Yeah, in the heterotrophic, there is a types are there. In the heterotrophic, types are there. What are those types?
Saprophytic.
Parasitic.
Symbiotic.
Yeah. Symbiotic. Yes, yes, yes. Before that, these two are there now. Fungal stains usually state it having the three states. That means telomere. That means where the sexual reproduction stage is called as telomere. Suppose penicillium. Penicillium Aspergillus reproductive stage is Emercella nidulans. Usually, first whenever they discovered Aspergillus, that kept in the Deuteromycotina. Later, after identification or identify the sexual reproduction perfect stage, again they kept into the Ascomycotina based upon their ascus structures, and they given the name of perfect stage, that is Emercella nidulans. Instead of Aspergillus nidulans, given the perfect stage name, that is Emercella nidulans, that we call as telomere. Anamorph. Anamorph means asexual stage. Usually, first it is the Aspergillus nidulans before identification of sexual reproduction. Okay, but after sexual reproduction identified, they given the telomorph stage name, that is Emercella nidulans. Okay, and the combining of telomorph and anomorph, the whole fungus, including anamorph and telomorph, is called as holomorph. Holo means whole, total. Holomorph. Okay, and here I already told you the homothallic fungi, heterothallic fungi. Homothallic. Okay, if the male and female nuclei from the same thallus, that is homothallic. If the plus and minus chain nuclei come from the different stains or from the different thallus, that is heterothallic. Okay, heterothallic. Usually, I already told you the structure, yeast-like structures, the fungal structures, and then filamentous fungi, filamentous structures. Okay, dimorphic fungi also is there. Dimorphic, that means some of them change their structure, modification. It will be acting as a saprophytes and as well as the parasite. It causes these all the histoplasma capsulatum, blastomyces. These all cause the diseases to the human beings. Coccidioides. Okay, and then next is the nutrition. You see here the Hastoria type. Have you seen the Hastoria type?
Yes, sir.
Various type of the Hastoria. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 type of the Hastorias. Hastorias. How it is penetrated into, how it are modified their structure. The Hastoria. With this Hastoria only it absorbs What happened? What happened? Disturbance is going on. With this Hastoria only it absorbs the nutrition. Okay. It has no mouth, no hand. The mouth and hand is the Hastoria, the fungi. Hand and mouth to eat the food, to absorb the nutrition from the host. Okay. That are, what are those? Hastorias. You see, the mode of nutrition in the fungi are saprophytic, parasitic, symbiotic, and predaceous. These are the four types of the. These are the four types. Okay, what are those types?
Saprophytic, parasitic,
Yes.
symbiotic, predaceous.
Predaceous. These are the four types of the nutrition types are there in the fungi. You know the saprophytic, first one. Sapro means rotten, decomposed, dead organic matter. It's grown on dead organic matter. Okay, you see a decaying plant or animal, decaying fruits or vegetables, or bread, roti, chapati, whatever it is, dead organic matter, decay of substance, whatever it is the substance, whether it is dead or decayed organic substances, that we call it as saprophytes. That fungi called as saprophytes. You know the rhizopas, mucor, so many, pythium, So majority of the fungi are saprophytic. You know, the saprophytic fungi, I already told you, are called as
Decomposers.
natural decomposers and natural scavengers. I told you. Okay, now saprophytes also called as decomposers, which decompose the dead organic matter, debris, wastages, decay, dead plants or animals will be decayed or decomposed by this fungi so that it cleans the environment. Otherwise, our earth is totally filled with the dead organic matter only. We have no space to even stand if all the dead bodies are remain, if there is no decomposition. Okay, that cleanness is doing by you are
saprophytic fungi.
yeah, saprophytic fungi and some bacteria. Okay, otherwise our environment may not be clean with the plenty of the dirty smell, decomposed smell. You see the mucor, rhizopas, and blastocladia. These are decomposing fungi, saprophytic fungi. You see rhizopas, how it grown on bread. You see mucor, how it grown on the fruit. Blastocladia on the leaf, decaying leaf, not on the live. Decaying leaf, which fallen upon the pollen leaf. If we attack on the living leaf, that called as parasite. Decaying leaf. Okay. These are the saprophytes you see. And then next is the parasitic mode of nutrition. Parasitic means which live on other living organism, which absorb the nutrition from the host. Which absorb nutrition from the host, their host. You see, Ophiocordyceps unilateral. You know the Ophiocordyceps, you might have listened. These are the golden fungi. You know, these fungi cost is more than the gold diamond. Cordyceps fungi. Usually it grown on insects or worms. It grown on insects and worms. This cordyceps, how it catch? You see how the Astoria it catch the insect? How it growing? How the protein body is? Very nature, how it created wonder. You see, this cordyceps is because cordyceps earning trillion dollars of the money. You know, cordyceps we use in the infertility to cure for the fertility purpose. We use this cordyceps fungi. It is very costly fungi. Then the Ganoderma. You know, I already told you yesterday, Ganoderma earning $500 billion every year to India. These cordyceps also, it grown on worms and insects. This also very highly precious, valuable fungi. Okay, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see, other parasitic fungi, Podospora, causing damage to cucumber. On cucumber, white patches on the cucumber leaf. Puccinia, you know, you have done the section, Puccinia graministic site, which cause rust on wheat. And also you see the parasitic causing chestnut upon the trunk of the tree. You see the parasitic type of the nutrition. You know, I already told you in the parasitic again 2 types are there, na? I told you.
Endoparasitic.
Symbiotic and endoparasitic, ectoparasitic.
Yeah, endoparasitic and ectoparasitic, and based upon the absorption of the nutrition, based upon the absorption of nutrition, again types are there. obligate parasite and facultative parasite. Obligate means it totally depending upon the host only. It can live on only on the host. Okay, you see, obligate parasite only upon the host. If the host is not present, it will die. It live on only on the host. That type of the parasite we call it as obligate parasite. Example, Puccinia gramineous. We trust fungi. We trust fungi. Okay. And then the facultative parasite. That means usually these are the saprophytes. But whenever the host is present, the suitable host plant is there, then it will be act as a parasite. Fusarium, Pythium, Phytophthora. These are facultative parasites. Fusarium, Pythium, Phytophthora. Okay, as an endoparasite or ectoparasite, both it can. Facultative means
completely living body. Depends.
no. If it totally depend upon the host, that is obligate.
Yes.
If it can survive as a saprophyte as well as parasite, that is facultative.
Partially parasitic. Can we say partially parasitic, sir?
Yeah, we can say partially. But whenever the specific host is present, then only it will be act as a parasite. Otherwise, usually it survive as a saprophyte. Okay, have you understood? If there is no host, even it can survive as a saprophyte, no problem at all. But whereas obligate parasite, it can't survive without the host. Okay, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
And some of the parasites also can survive on the dead organic matter. Some of the parasites, usually these are the parasites, but it also can survive as a saprophyte, as a decomposer in absence of the host. If host is not there, that parasitic fungi can also act as a saprophyte, decomposer, opposite to the facultative parasites. The Toprina can survive as a saprophyte. Even it is a parasitic fungi, it can also survive as saprophyte. Okay. The next type is symbiont. The symbiont means mutually benefiting.
Association.
Host and parasite both mutually benefited, that is symbiotic association. Host and parasite both are get benefit, that we call it as the symbiosis. The two fungi associated in the two ways. Oh, where it is? Why it is happening? Okay. Where the cursor? Here. Where it has gone? Okay. There it is. Where the annotation has gone on. Okay, you see, the two type of the symbionts are there with the lichens. Are you able to listen me? Audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
then. Okay, then here you see.
No, sir.
Oh,
Screen is
share has
not
gone,
sharing, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay, now is it okay?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. You see, two type of the symbionts are there. What are those?
Lichens.
Fungi associated with the algae. Fungi associated with algae is called lichens.
Lichen.
Symbiotic association in between the algae and fungi are called as lichens. The lichens are natural farmers. natural farmers. It melt the stone into soil. It melt the stones, rocks, mountains, hills into soil, powdery structure. That capacity is there to the lichens. Lichens. Okay. That that capacity is there to the lichens that are symbiotic association of fungi with algae. You know, I already told you the lichen association is called as idealistic marriage. Idealistic marriage. And also called as king and slavery relationship. King and slavery relationship. Or idealistic marriage in between the algae and fungi. The fungi absorb the nutrition from the algae. Fungi only take the reproduction. Algae only for the preparation of the food. Only to supply the food, only algae is useful here in this. That's why. But algae also surviving even in the drought condition because of association with the fungi. Otherwise, it survive only in the water, aquatic environment. Okay, the lichen is idealistic marriage in between the algae and fungi, or king and slavery relationship in between the algae and fungi. Okay.
Sir, lichen's example is pattar pool, right? Pattar pool.
Yeah, pattar ka pool, biryani taste ke pattar ka pool we use na.
Biryani agent.
Yeah, biryani ke we use chestam.
Yes.
Pattar ka pool. Pattar, it grown on rocks. That's why pattar ka pool.
Okay. Tribals will collect and they will sell in the markets.
Yeah. That lichen are very much useful to digest even hard, even mutton, chicken. You eat more, it will digest.
Spicy
Even spicy. Even all the biryanis, mutton, chicken biryani, whatever it is, the biryani we use pattar ka food. That is the lichen. What we are using that pattar ka food is the lichen. That having the lecanoic acid that melt even in the hard material also it will be melt by this lichens. That's why we use this pattar ka food to easy digestion. Okay, have you understood? For the digestion purpose, it is very useful.
Yes.
Even for the taste, flavor, and for the digestion. Okay. And then the mycorrhiza. Second association is the mycorrhiza, which are fungi which are associated with the roots of the higher fungi. Fungi which are associated with the roots of the higher fungi. That is mycorrhizae. Fungi which are associated with the roots of the higher plants. Myco means fungi, rhizo means roots. Fungi which are associated with the roots, fungi which help to absorb the atmospheric nitrogen, and roots which supply the nutrition to the fungi. The symbiotic association. These are the types of the nutrition. These are the types of the nutrition in the fungi. Okay. And then one more thing also is there now. Predators. Oh, where it is? One more type, that is predators type. You can see the symbiotic we already discussed now. Example, you can see the mycorrhiza growing on the roots and the lichens growing on the bark, stem or rocks. Okay. And then predaceous mode of nutrition. That means it grown on animals. Worms, rotifers, and protozoans. You might have seen the white patches upon the insects or white patches upon the plants. Animal trophing fungi. Predaceous fungi means it stop the animals which grown on the animals. These are the predaceous type of the fungi. You see the example. You see, Pleurotus. is growing on oyster. You see on the wood, decaying wood. You see Arthrobotrys. Arthrobotrys is growing up, and you see the how it is totally occupy the outer space of the insects. Insects fully covered with the fungi, mycelium. These are the predaceous fungi. Okay, predaceous fungi. Next is the classification of the fungi. Okay, fungi classification. Fungal classification. We have the time up to 11:30 now. Okay, we will complete it before that. Okay. As we already discussed, the fungi are classified into two groups that are Myxomycota and Eumycota. False fungi and true fungi. False fungi and true fungi. But as morphologically, classification also is there. Yeast-like structures, filamentous distal, we already discussed. Mycelial structure, dimorphic. But we will go for the next. Where it is the classification. Fungal classification. Where the fungal classification? Okay. Here we can see the classification of fungi. Okay. Yeah, we are following the Ainsworth classification of the fungi. Whose classification it is? Ainsworth classification. Now, Ainsworth classification. But now modern phylogenetic classification, so many phylogenetic classifications also occur, but we are following the Ainsworth classification. The modern optical classification as per based upon phylogeny, DNA sequencing or RNA protein sequencing. But now we are following this Ainsworth classification proposed by natural. It is a natural system of classification. You know, three types of the classification: natural system of classification, artificial classification, phylogenetic classification. Three types of the classifications are there. You know, in the angiosperm taxonomy also, we following the benthamentical classification, that is natural system of classification. Okay. And here also in the fungi, we are following the natural system of classification that is proposed by Ainsworth. It is discussed in the dictionary of the fungi. It is discussed in the dictionary of the fungi. Here you can see the kingdom fungi, Myxomycota and Eumycota. The name false fungi. Only it having the plasmodium-like structure. There is no specific structure, amoeba-like structures. Okay, there is no specific cell wall structures. Whereas in the Eumycota, it having the perfect fungi, that means true fungi and eukaryotic fungi. Eukaryotic fungi. You know, the Myxomystis again divided into four that are Erasiomystis, Hydromyxomystis, Myxomystis, and Plasmodiophoromystis. Based upon their habitat, whether it is growing on water or a plasmodium-like structure, where it is based upon that, they divided the class. You see, and the next one is the true fungi, Eumycota. Next one is the true fungi, it is Eumycota. That Eumycota, you see, divided into how many? 5 groups, I already told you. Masticomycotina, Zygomycotina, Ascomycotina, and Basidiomycotina and Deuteromycotina. You see, Masticomycotina, what happened? Masticomycotina, which produce the juice spores, that means flagella, motile spores. Whereas Zygomycotina, it having the zygospores. Zygomycotina, it having the zygospore. Zygous, like fruiting body, zygous. Mastigomycotina, it having the flagellas. And Ascomycotina, it having the ascospores. Saucer shaped fruiting body, and it having the ascospores on the ascus. And the Basidiomycotina, already told you, basidium, buttons, button shape. And Deuteromycotina, already told you, imperfect fungi. Sexual reproduction either absent or may not find.
Yes, sir.
That
Imperfect
Deuteromycotina, imperfect fungi, also called a dustbin fungi. Imperfect fungi or dustbin fungi. Okay. And then we will go for the next. Mastigomycotina, Zygomycotina, Ascomycotina, Basidiomycotina, and Deuteromycotina. Okay. And then next, we will go one by one. Myxomycota, we also called it as slime molds. It's like a jiguru buzulaga ఉంటుంది. Gelatinous molds. Okay. You see the mycota division. The first one is the myxomycota, divided into 4 that are acrasiomyces, false fungi, cellular slime molds, and hydromyxomyces are net-like slime molds, net-like structures, and myxomyces are actual true slime molds, and plasmodiophoromyces are endoparasite slime molds, which are grown inside the host. Host. Okay. And then next are true fungi, which are having the cell wall. These all are eukaryotes. Divided into, you see, Mastigomycotina, zoosporic fungi, spores, oospores, zoospores are present. That Mastigomycotina again divided into 3 classes. You see the 3 classes. What are those? Chytridiomystes. Chytridiomystes. That means if having the only one flagella that is smooth. Only one flagella that is smooth type. That type of the mycelia, that type of the fungi are called as Chytridiomystes. Okay. And next one is Hypochytridiomystes. The flagella that is in posterior side, opposite side, one is single flagella, opposite side, that is tensile type. That means it having the plymers. Airs-like structure. You know the flagella are 2 types. Okay, 2 types of the flagella. Acronematic and pantonymatic. 2 types of the flagellas are there. Acronematic means smooth. Pantonymatic means flagellated. Okay, acronematic means whiplash type. Pantonymatic means tensile type. 2 types of the flagellas.
What is the meaning of whiplash, sir? Whiplash
means korada to kortara, whiplash.
Okay.
Whiplash type, smooth. Whereas in the tensile is flagellated, fibrils, air, nugulaga untundi, air untundi, feathery untundi. Feathery, nugu unte, that is tensile type flagella. Whether it is smooth, that is whiplash type. 2 types of the flagellas. Whiplash type of the flagella at the posterior side, that is Chytridiomystes. Tensile type of the flagella at the anterior side, that is Hypochytridiomystes. And if both the type of the flagella, the 2 flagellas are present, that we call as oomystes. 2 flagellas. The single flagella, 2 types, Chytridiomystes, Hypochytridiomystes. And the second one, oomystes, are in the 2 flagellas. Not the single, 2 flagellas are there. That is oomystes. Based upon the flagella, divided into 3, Chytridiomystes, Hypochytridiomystes, and oomycetes. Okay. Second one is Zygomycotina. You know, the Zygomycetes fungi are aseptate. I already told you, Rhizopus, mucor, no septa, cenocytic, no septa, cenocytic thallus. More nucleus are present in the thallus. Cenocytic thallus are there in the Zygomycotina, Rhizopus, mucor. Okay, and the Zygomycotina again divided into two. What are those? Zygomycetes and Trichomycetes. If the mycelium is totally inside the host, if the mycelium is totally inside the host, that is Zygomycetes. Inside the host. You receive request to recall the cloud. Okay, the zygo. So okay, if the zygo mycelium totally inside the host, that are Zygomycetes. If the mycelium is upon the host, outside the host, upon the host, that is Trichomycetes. These are the two types of the Zygomycetes. Okay, are you able? Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, these are the two types of the Zygomycetes. You might have understood now. If the total mycelium is inside, that is Zygomycetes. If the mycelium is outside of the host, that is Trichomycetes. Okay, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Masticomycotin also,
sir.
Masticomycotin also clear. Flagella,
Yes,
one
sir.
flagella, posterior chytidomyces, anterior hypochytidomyces, two flagella.
Oomycetes.
Oomycetes. Okay, good.
Yes.
And then next is Ascomycotina. Ascus, saucer, shape fruiting body. If it having the ascus, saucer shape, bowl, saucer shape fruiting bodies. Ascocarp. Okay, that are, you can see here the spores which are releasing from the saucer ascus is called as ascospores. Okay, the ascospores again divided into 6 classes. Okay, that is Hemiascomycetes. Hemiascomycetes. That means Asca is naked. There is no covering sheath. If Asca is naked without any covering sheath, that we call it as Hemiascomycetes. Hemi means up, above. Hemiascomycetes. There is no covering sheath. Okay, no ascocarp. Saucer-like fruiting body also not present, but like is there, but it is inside the mycelium only. You can't see it at outside. And next is Laculascomycetes, ascostroma. That means ascus is forming the thick, tightly coiled, closed type of the fruiting body. That is ascostroma type of the fruiting body with the two walls that are comes under Laculascomycetes. And the next is Plectomycetes. That fruiting body is the Clistothecium, round, globular, thick-coated fruiting body. There is no open space. There is no porous space. Round, globular, thick-coated fruiting body is called as Clistothecium. This type of the fruiting body fungi are grouped in Plectomycetes. Okay, and Labalbuminomycetes. Labalbuminomycetes fruiting body is Perithecium. Perithecium. That means flask-shaped fruiting body. Flask-shaped fruiting body. Fruiting body as like a flask. Flask-shaped fruiting body. Flask-shaped fruiting body, Perithecium. Fungi are grouped in Labalbuminomycetes. Okay. Are you able to understand this differentiation? Based upon that, they are divided. hemiascomycetes, lactoscomycetes, plectomycetes, and labalbuminomycetes. And next one is perinomycetes. These usually saucer shape. Root body as like a perithecium sometime. Okay, these also perithecium. And the next one is discomycetes. These are the actually ascomycetes, having the ascus, saucer tape, saucer side protein body, apothecium. This type of the protein body, saucer shaped protein body, we call it as apothecium. Apothecium usually present in the Phaeaza, the Capropilus fungi, which grown on cow dungs. Capropilus fungi, which grown on cow dung. That's why we call it Capropilus. Dung-loving fungi, Capropilus fungi. Okay, these are the various type of the fruiting body, ascocarps. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of the fruiting bodies are there in the Ascomycotina. Based upon that, they classified into different classes. Okay, have you understood? And next is Basidiomycotina. Zygomycotina already over na? Ascomycotina completed, Zygomycotina completed, Ascomycotina also completed, and next is
Basidiomycetes.
Basidiomycotina or Basidiomycetes. Okay, they are not going up. Okay, Basidiomycetes. Okay, next is Basidiomycetes. See. You see, the Basidiomycetes are divided into
Two.
how many?
Three types.
Three types.
Yeah.
Three types.
Yeah. Are you listening or not? That's what I am testing. Okay, Basidiomycetes fungi are divided into 3 that are where it forming the basidium. I already told you, basidium, fruiting body, button-shaped fruiting bodies, toadstools, puffballs, mushrooms, that are there. You can see in the, these are divided based upon the basidium structure. They're divided into 3 groups. You see the teleomycetes. You see here the basidia having, it really is the teleospores. It having the branched basidium. This, upon the branch, it having the spores. These spores we call it as teleospores. Are they understood?
Yes, sir.
Basically, basidium are 2 types: Plectobasidium and Hymenobasidium. Eubasidium, 2 types. Plectobasidium means if it is divided, basidia are divided, that is Plectobasidium. Basidium is having the septas. If it is divided, that is Plectobasidium. That types are there in the teleomycetes. Usually, you might have seen rust fungi. Iridospores, tildospores. Have you seen iridospores, tildospores?
Vaccinia.
Yes. And Hymenomycetes. Here the basidiocarp is present. Basidiocarp having the only one globe like basidium. There is no division. There is no branch. Unbranched basidium. Unbranched. Okay. Unbranched basidium. Upon that, basidiospores are present. These are the basidiospores. Okay. Basidium, unbranched one is calling it as
Hymenomycetes.
Hymenomycetes.
Castromycetes. Next one is
Castromyces.
yeah. Basidiocarp is present. Hymenium is enclosed in the basidiocarp. You know, actually basidiocarp having the hymenium, subhymenium, and excipulum. 3 structures are there in the basidium. If you take the section, that is
No voice, sir.
Sir, no voice.
We can't hear.
Sir, no voice.
excipulum, subhymenium, and hymenium. The hymenium part is a petal part where there is a basidiospores. Where there is a basidiospores are present. That part is a petal part that is enclosed. That is enclosed in this. Okay. And then the next is Deuteromycotina imperfect fungi, dustbin fungi. Deuteromycotina imperfect fungi or dustbin fungi. This imperfect fungi, dustbin fungi, again divided into
Three
what
types.
are those?
Blastomyces, hypomyces,
Coeliomyces. These are the 3 types of the Deuteromycetes, Deuteromycotina fungi. You know, the Deuteromycotina means imperfect fungi. There is no perfect stage. There is no sexual reproduction in this fungi. Or we don't know the sexual reproduction, perfect stage. If we know the perfect stage, based upon the fruiting body, we shift to either Zygomycotina or Mastigomycotina, Ascomycotina or Basidiomycotina. Okay? If it is not found, it will be remain in the Deuteromycotina. But now, as for the modern taxonomy, phylogenetic taxonomy, there is no Deuteromycotina group. Okay, why? Because we are identifying with the DNA sequencing, RNA and protein sequencing. So there is no chance of it. You see, the blastomyces, that means yeast-like structures. Okay, there is no true mycelium. Okay, the pseudo-mycelial-like structures. Pseudo-mycelial-like structure, that means white patches-like structures. There is no specific fruiting body-like structures. Okay, and hypomycetes. The vegetative thallus mycelium, which are having the asexual spores, either conidia or aplonospores or sporangiospores, like that. Asexual spores are present. If the asexual spores are present on the mycelium, that we call it, that type of the fungi are hypomycetes. Okay. If the asexual spores are formed either in the pycnidium or round, pycnidium means round globular fruiting body, or observable saucer-like fruiting body. Asexual spores in the saucer-like fruiting body or round globular shaped fruiting body, pycnidium or observable. Asexual spores. If it upon these in the these perithys pycnidium or on the acerulus. That type of the fungi are called as coelomycetes. Okay. Raw mycelium, only mycelium, sterile mycelium, that is blastomycetes. The mycelium with asexual spores, that is hypomycetes. Mycelium with asexual spores in the fruiting body, either pycnidium or acerulous fruiting body, that are coelomycetes. These are the three types, three classes of the deuteromycota. Okay, as the normal classification group, you can see the Phycomycetes. The lower fungi, the Zygomycotina, Mascomycotina, we also call it as Phycomycetes. Why? You know, Phyco means algae. It having the algae-like cell wall, cellulose. Instead of chitin, cellulose is present. Almost all the characters are look like algae. That's why Phycomycetes. Phyco means algae, mycetes means fungi.
Yes,
Phycomycetes.
Yes.
Example.
Fungi are like, what happened? Switch off. Fungi are like algae. That's why we call it as Phycomycetes. This is Saprolegnia, Rhizopus, Mucor, Albugo, Pythium. And Ascomycetes, you see yeast, Aspergillus, Penicillium, Neurospora. Even Neurospora we use in the genetic experiment, molecular studies. We use the Neurospora crassa. As like a Drosophila in the animal, we use the Neurospora fungi for the genetic experiments, molecular studies. The molecular model fungi. The Basidiomycetes, Agaricus, Polyporus, Puccinia. We have studied Puccinia. Ustilago, Mycophodons, and Deuteromycotina. We have studied the Cercospora under the Deuteromycotina. Ticka disease of groundnut.
Yes, sir.
Cercospora, Colitotrichum, red rod of sugarcane. Sugarcane, red.
Yes, sir.
Sugarcane ko red patches kanipistayi.
Yes, sir.
You know the trichoderma we are using as a biofertilizer now, biopesticide to kill the pests. We are using the trichoderma instead of chemical pesticide. We are using the trichoderma fusarium as a biopesticides. Okay, these all are the types. This is the classification. Next, we will discuss the classification in the next class. Okay, classification. Okay. In the next class, we will discuss the classification. Okay, and then till now, what we have studied, the structure, and what we have studied till now,
Structure, nutrition,
Classification.
What we have studied?
Classification of fungi.
Reproduction in fungi.
And structure, thallus organization, and special type of the thallus based upon the structures, and then homothallic and heterothallic, nutrition, reproduction. We are not studying reproduction. Oh, another topic also is there. Okay. Reproduction, nutrition we have studied, and then you see, I will show you the modern type of the classification. This we can see the Haptal classification, modern as for phylogeny. Now the England and other countries, advanced countries, they are following this Haptal classification. Not after all. Not after all. Okay, Haptal classification. Haptal classification.
Yes,
That means Association of Fungal Taxonomy Organization. Okay, Haptal. This is the classification, the modern classification of fungi. But we are not following in our book. in our syllabus. The recent classification that is as per recent classification, the fungi are divided like this. Okay, and Microsporidae. Okay, you see the Glomeromycota, Chytidiomycota, and Neocalicomycotina and Blastoclademycotina. These are the groups, new groups. What we are studying, that all are gone. Okay, as for new classification. But we are following the old classification only, don't worry. Ascomycotina, Basidiomycotina, these two are dichoria. That means why? It having the two nucleus in the thallus. I told you, clamp connects, bypass, outer ring road. These two, and these two only, the remaining all are Zygomycotina, Ascomycotina, Deuteromycotina, all come here in this remaining groups. Only higher fungi, these two, Ascomycotina and Basidiomycotina, called as higher fungi. Macrofungi, also called as macro. Okay, the remaining microfungi are grouped into 4. Okay, this is the modern classification. And after this, another modern classification also in the recent 2018. This is the modified classification of the fungi. As for this, you see the fungi, where it is, the fungi in the plant kingdom. You see the fungi, what are those? Opisthosphoridia, Chytidiomycota, Jupagomycota, and Mucoromycota, Dichoria. The Dichoria, two groups, Ascomycota and Basidiomycota. Okay. And then as for this, we will discuss in after next, if this classification is implement, we will discuss these. Where we will discuss these only. The later, if this classification is added, we will discuss these 5 only. We will discuss later if this classification added under the fungi. What are those? Morellomycota and Glomeromycota,
Enthorrhizomycota,
Basidiomycota, and Ascomycota. You know the Glomeromycota, so fungi which are forming the nodules inside the host, that are Glomeromycota. Nodules inside, vesicles or arbuscules, astorias. Vesicles or arbuscules like astorias, that are called as Glomeromycota. That Glomeromycota fungi we are using as a biofertilizers for the ammonia synthesis, phosphorus and ammonia synthesis. Okay, we are using this Glomeromycota group of fungi. Okay, this is the modern trend of classification. Okay, then if we have time, we will discuss the reproduction also.
Do we have time?
Whether you are having the time or not. Reproduction in fungi. Shall we discuss or stop? Reproduction in fungi. Reproduction and economic importance is there. If we have time, we will complete the reproduction also now.
Okay, sir. Continue.
Shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what happened? Where it is? Next is reproduction. Usually reproduction is 3 types of the reproduction is there. That is vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction. Vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction, and
Sexual reproduction.
Sexual reproduction. The perfect stage is sexual reproduction. Okay. If in between the 2 opposite stages, that is sexual reproduction. If within the same thallus, that are 2 types, vegetative and asexual. Within the same thallus, same plant, the reproduction is happening. That are 2 types, either asexual or vegetative. If it is mixing with the both, that are sexual reproduction. You see here, vegetative reproduction by fragmentation or fission or budding or sclerosia, rhizome, or it will take place. Vegetative reproduction. As asexual reproduction by endogenous spores or exogenous spores. Spores which are maybe inside or inside the host or at outside. Exogenous. Sexual reproduction, usually in the sexual reproduction, I told you, these three processes must in the sexual reproduction.
Plasmogamy, karyogamy,
and meiosis.
Meiosis.
These three steps compulsory. If these three steps happen, then only it will be called as sexual reproduction. Perfect state. Fusion of the cytoplasm, fusion of the nucleus, and division of the nucleus. These three steps. To opposite state, cytoplasm and nucleus, fusion and division. That is sexual reproduction. Okay. And then we will go step by step. Wait. Okay. You see, vegetative, asexual, and sexual reproduction. You see, the first is vegetative type of the reproduction. Vegetative reproduction by blastospores. You see, the budding. Usually yeast will take the budding. Yeast, single cellular cell, it form the bud, swollen part upon the single cell. And then whatever the nucleus and cytoplasm, some amount, it goes to the swollen part. Like that, it's swollen, it forms the buds. One upon about other. It forms the buds. Okay? Not buddu, bud. Okay? It forms the bud. It is bud like such a swollen bodies. Formation is called as blastospores. Blastospores. Are you there? All of you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. The next one is arthrospores. Arthrospores means where the conidiophore, you see the conidiophore, the conidia and conidiophore. This conidiophore are segmented, splits, and condensed into small patches. Small, minute spores, it are condensed and it forms chain-like structure. You see here, small condensed chain-like structures. That we call it as orthospores, also called as iodia. Also called as iodia.
Iodia.
I-O-D-I-A. Iodia. I-O-D-I-A. Iodias. Iodia. Also called as iodias. Orthospores, also called as iodias. Okay. That means these are dehydrated and condensed spores. Okay. These iodias are usually in the rust fungi. Rust fungi. White rust. Mildew fungi. You know the mildews? White patches upon the leaves. Powdery mildew. Or white patches below the leaf. Downy mildew. Powdery mildew and downy mildew. Both the types. If the white patches upon the leaf, that is powdery mildew. You might have seen white patches upon the leaves. White powdery patches. Usually in the palakura, todakura, chukukura. You might have seen white patches. Have you seen or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The vegetable market, you can see the white patches upon the palakura, todakura, chukukura, bachalkura. All the leafy vegetables. That is powdery mildews. And the downy mildew upon the beneath the leaf. Cucurbita, cucumis, cucurbita, downy mildews. That all form the iodospores or orthospores. Okay. The next one is thick wall resting spores that are called as chlamydospores. Chlamydospores, thick wall. That are thick wall one are called as chlamydospores. Okay, you see the thick coated. Where it is? Okay, thick coated separate spores upon the conidiophore. The conidiophore, these are the conidias. The conidias are thick coated. That we call it as chlamydospore. That they are usually in the candida. You know candida albicans. ఇది ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది, ఇది ఇక్కడ వస్తుంది, ఆడ వస్తుంది కదా, ఇచ్.
Okay, sir.
Itches. Itches caused by candida. Candidiasis. Candida itches. Itches వస్తాయి కదా, rashes, itches.
Yes.
That is due to candida fungi. Okay. And then next various different types are there now. You have to go again back. It's not moving. Okay, next aerial spores. Spores which are releasing at outside. I already told you endo and exto. Endospores and extospores. You see the conidiospores, which having the conidia and conidiophores. Upon the conidiospores, spores are present. That we call it conidiospores. Conidiospores. Usually these are there in Aspergillus and Penicillium. You see the Penicillium, Aspergillus, it looks like a pencil. That means brush. The Greek pencil means brush. That's why we named it as Penicillium. Penicillium means brush. It looks like a brush. Is it look like a brush or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why given the name of Penicillium. Penicillium notatum, Penicillium chrysogenum. You know penicillin. Penicillin injection.
Penicillium notatum.
Yeah, that look like a brush. That's why given the name it as Penicillium. Okay, Penicillium. You see the spores, how the conidiospores are. How the conidiospores are. How it is. Okay, and then you can see the microconidia. Microconidia, small single cell, and macroconidia, large septate, multicellate conidia. Small single cellular and large multicellular. Suppose you see the alternaria. You see the septate spores, multicellular spores, or single spores like Idea or Brugia, like, and sporangiospores. Sporangiospores you can see in the Rhizopus and mucor, where the stolon it formed the sporangiums. This sporangium it having the columella, the neck-like structure. Whatever the nucleus and cytoplasm, it goes to the swollen body and it forms the sac-like structure. That we're calling it as sporangium. That sporangia having the spores. That's why we call it sporangiospores. Spores in the sporangia. That's why we calling it as sporangiospores. The sporangiospores are present in mucor and Rhizopus. Now zygomystis fungi. In the zygomystis fungi, sporangiospores. Spores are released. You see, release the spores. All spores are released. They splitted, and all the spores are came out. These are the sporangiospores. Okay. These are vegetative type of the reproduction. Okay. You see, and also some other type of the vegetative reproductions by fusion, budding, sclerosia rhizomar. Sclerosia rhizomars we already studied. Budding, that already we already studied the budding. And the fission, that means division. Division of one cell into two. Fission. And sclerosia, I already told you, a ray plant, it called because of claviceps fungi, it forms the sclerosia like fruiting body and the rhizomorph like fruiting body. These also can regenerate their own thallus. Rhizomorph can regenerate their own thallus. Sclerosia also can regenerate own thallus. And by fission, by budding, by aerial spores, by conidiospores, sporangiospores, arthrospores, these all are the various type of the vegetative reproduction type. Okay. And then next is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. You see the fragmentation, fission, how it is the fission dividing into two. Usually it is there in the yeast cells. Budding, how it is budding the yeast. You know, yeast, you should know the yeast. Huh? Not east, west, east. Huh? You also should know
yeast.
You also should know the yeast early morning. Get the D vitamin. And then, okay, the budding, because of yeast earning $1 trillion of the money. And sclerosia and rhizomorphs, this we already discussed. And next is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction takes place by spores formation. Either mitospores or meiospores or mitospores. That means meiotic division spores or mitotic spores. Whatever it is, the spores. Okay. The sporophores. You see, pleomorphic or polymorphic. Suppose that means various type of the spores. If it is forming the two different type of the spores, that is polymorphic. You see the sporangia, either it is forming the spores inside the sporangium, that is endogenous, or if it is producing it outside, that is exogenous. Two types, endogenous spores and exogenous spores. Spores which are coming out, which are outside, that are exogenous spores. Spores which are in the sac, inside the fruiting body, that are endogenous spores. These are the two types of the spores. Okay. And then you see the endogenous spores which are there in the sporangium inside. Sporangiospores, I told you, sporangiospores in the rhizopus mucor, which are there inside the sporangium, inside the sac, titti, sanchi, kocham. Okay. And endogenous spores are two types, aplanospores and zoospores. Aplanospores and zoospores. You see the aplanospores means non-motile spores. Aplano means non-motile. No flagella. Okay. No flagellated. Aplanospores. You can see here the sporangiospores are called as aplanospores. The rhizopus, mucor. You see inside the mucor and rhizopus. Aplanospores, which are there inside the Clistothecium fruiting body. You see the Clistothecium fruiting body, inside there is a spores. That are all are inside the sporangium. That's why called as endospores. Okay. And the exospores, you can you see the zoospore, how it is, it having the flagella. What I told you, the whiplash type of the flagella and tensile type of the flagella. And both whiplash and tensile, both the type of the flagellas. Have you seen here? Whiplash, smooth, tensile, flagellated, fimbrillated. Two type of the flagellas. You see, inside the sac, the spores, either flagellated spores or non-flagellated spores, aplanospores or zoospores. Aplanospores means non-flagellated spores. Zoospores means Flagellated spores, motile spores, which move, which can move. Okay. And then the next is exospores that are conidia, which are formed in the conidia, conidiophore. You have seen just now the penicillium, Aspergillus penicillium, conidiophores. Upon the conidiospores, conidia, you have seen conidia, blue-green molds, penicillium, Aspergillus. You see here again, exospores, spores which are outside. You see the septate spores, just like Cercospora and then Alternaria. Just now back I drawn these spores. Right? You see the conidiospores upon the penicillium. You see it having the piloid crosiers upon that conidiums. Conidias are chain-like. You see the conidias are like a sickle shape, half-moon shape, or sickle shape in the fusarium. Or even in the Cercospora also, conidias are in sickle shape, half-moon shape. Cercospora, Ticadis of groundnut, we have taken the section. That also half-moon shape or sickle shape. Sickle, Kodavali, you know, sickle shape. You know the sickle cell anemia?
Yes.
Sickle cell anemia.
Yes, sir.
Usually
becomes into
yes. Usually our blood cells are around sac shape red blood cells, but if we got the sickle cell anemia, our red blood cells will be turned into sickle cell. That's why they lose the oxygen carrying capacity. That is sickle cell anemia disease. Okay, that is other part that is not comes under fungi. Okay, you see the exospores, various type of the exospores. You can see how you see the penicillium, how the endospores are releasing out from the Clystothecium fruiting body, how the spores are releasing from the apothecium fruiting bodies, how they are from the Clystothecium, perithecium fruiting body. They are releasing from the inside, or these are outside. These are the various type of the spores that are there. Okay. Are those spores various type of the spores which are there? Where it is? Oh, where it has gone? Yeah, these are the various type of the spores you can see here in the asexual reproduction. Various type of the spores: zoospores, soplanospores, conidiospores, chlamydospores, and pycnidiospores, iodia, arthospores. These are the various types of the asexual spores. Okay, and then where it is fungal general character? No, we are studying the reproduction. Huh? Okay. Now you can see. Next is sexual reproduction, the perfect stage. You know the Deuteromystis fungi, it absent. The Deuteromystis fungi, sexual reproduction is locked, or we don't know the sexual reproduction. That all are comes under Deuteromycotina, imperfect fungi. Okay. You see the two different phases that are haploid and diploid. Haploid means if one set of the chromosome that is haploid. Yes, one. Not n means numerous, single n. One number. Not n number means that also comes under numerous. Okay, only single set of chromosome. If the two set of the chromosome, that is diploid phase. Okay. You see, I already told you monoecious, dioecious. What does it mean, the monoecious? Mono means single, ecious means house. In the single house, two sexes, male and female, are present. That we call it as homothallic. Homothallic. The single cell, if it is male and female, both are there, both the sex organs are there, that is homothallic, also called as monoecious. Dioecious means heterothallic, that means male and female are in different thallus, different stains. Heterothallism discovered by A. Blacksley, I already told you, the Rhizopus nuclear aspergillus. And usually, in the sexual reproduction, first one is planogametangial copulation. Planogametangial copulation. The planogametangial copulation again divided into three: isogamy, anisogamy, and oogamy. Isogamy means two equal size spores. If the two equal size spores are combined together, that we call it as isogamy. Iso means equal. Structurally, functionally equal. Anisogamy means unequal. Female is larger and male is smaller. Or female is stable, male is showing the movement, move. Anisogamy. Unequal size spores if fused, that is anisogamy. To equal size spores if fused, that is isogamy. Okay, I understood. Isogamy and anisogamy. Usually, I already told you, in the sexual reproduction, plasmogamy, karyogamy, and meiosis will take place. But one difference is, karyogamy is take place immediately after the plasmogamy in the lower fungi. But whereas in the higher fungi, Ascomycotina and Basidiomycotina, it having the gap in between the plasmogamy and karyogamy. Karyogamy will take place in the special structures. In the Ascomycotina, karyogamy will take place in the crow's ears, curved shape ascus, crow's ears. But whereas in the Basidiomycotina, it takes place in the basidiospores, basidium. There is a gap between the plasmogamy and karyogamy in the higher fungi. But whereas in the lower fungi, Ascomycotina, Zygomycotina, immediately after plasmogamy, karyogamy will take place. Okay. And you see, these are the 5 types of the sexual reproductions which occur in the fungi, that are planogametic copulation, gametangial contact, gametangial copulation, spermatization, somatogamy. Okay, these are the types of the sexual reproduction. You see, the first one is planogametic copulation. That means motile spores which are combining two opposite stain motile spores, either two equal size spores. If the two equal size spores are combining, fusing, that is isogamy. The two unequal size, one is larger, one is smaller. Unequal size spores fuse, that is anisogamy. Okay, oogamy means here in the fungi, egg cell, that means the female gametonychia is unstable, there is no flagella. Whereas the male, it having the flagellas, it moves toward the female with the flagella. Egg cell is unstable, larger. Sperm cell are very small, having the flagella. This is the oogamous type of the reproduction. These are the 3 types of the reproduction which are there in the motile fungi. That means in the Mastigomycotina, Chytridomystis fungi. Okay, Syncytium, Plasmodiophora, Allomyces, Monobliparis. These all in this fungi, in the Mastigomystis fungi, these three types of the sexual reproductions will take place. That is isogamy, anisogamy, and no
Ugami.
one is there.
Ugamus type.
Ugamus.
Ugamy. What type it is?
Ugamus.
Ugamy. These are the three types which are there in the Mastigomycotina or Chytridomystis, motile fungi. Okay. Lower fungi is the first previous type of the sexual reproduction which happen in the Mastigomycotina fungi. Okay. In the Mastigomycotina fungi. Okay. Then next type of reproduction is gametangial contact. Gametangial contact. That you can see gametangial contact usually present in the Pythium, Phytoptera, Aspergillus, Pencilia. You see the Pythium, Albugo, Perinospora. Two opposite gametangium, male and female gametangiums come together and jointed together. Both having the contact, male gamete and female gamete. You see, the male gametangium is the larger one, the female gametangium is the small one. You see, both are attached, contacted, both having the contact. After contact, the cell wall is degraded, and whatever the male, that means sperm cells, antheridiums, antheridospores, that enter into the oogonium. Female, that enter into the female cell, that means egg cell. These two nucleus, female nucleus and male nucleus fuse. That means plasmogamy and karyogamy will take place. This is a gametangial contact. Male and female gamete comes together nearer and it exchange whatever the spores, sperms, antheridias enter into the oogonium. Excel. That is the gametangial contact. That is there in the Pythium, Albugo, especially in the Zygomycotina. In which fungi? Zygomystis fungi. Okay. And then next is gametangial copulation. Gametangial copulation. Coupling. Coupling. Coupling means fusion of the entire body. That means coupling, coupling, coupling. This is the coupling. 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 Again. Copulation. Gametangial copulation. Male and female gametes are coupled. It forms the couple. Couples means, you know the couple? Couple. Don't know?
Yes.
Yes.
Couple. Couples. Fair. Okay. Pair of male and female, we call it couple now. Like that here also, male and female gamete are coupled. Entire male and female gamete are in contact. That is gametangial copulation. Here you see the male gamete and the female gamete. Oogonium and antheridium. Antheridia, it releases antheridospore, that means sperms. Oogonium, it having the egg cells. Egg cell inside. The antheridias, it releases antheridospores and it fuses with the egg cell and it forms. You see in the single thallus, side by side cells, one cell is forming the archegonium, oogonium. Other cell is forming the antheridium. Okay, these two are jointing and supplying or sending the antheridia toward the oogonium. And there is a plasmogamy and karyogamy is taking place. You see in the rhizopus, nuclear, entomoptera. And then next is spermatization. Sperms formation. Sperms. You see, the non-motile spores are forming by the male gametangium thallus. That is spermatangium. It's forming the spermaceums. Chain-like structure. In the chain, it is forming the spore. That each spore will be acting as a sperm, which is attached to the receptive hyphae. Receptive hyphae is the apical structure of the oogonium. Receptive hyphae is the apical structure of the oogonium. Like this. This is the receptive hyphae. Here the receptive hyphae, sperms, conidias are attached. The attached conidia sperm will go toward the egg cell and it take the fertilization, fission, syngamy, fission of the male and female. It takes place. That is spermatization, advanced type of the sexual reproduction. It is there in all Ascomycetes fungi. Ascomycotina. And which group? Which group? Are you listening? Are you keep away your phones and you are doing your homework?
No, sir. Listening.
Listening, sir. Listening.
Okay, okay. I not yet taken even breakfast today.
You.
Okay, now there is the advanced type of the reproduction, sperms, releasing of the sperms, that is entering into the egg cell through the hyphae, receptive hyphae. Okay, and then the next is advanced one, more advanced one, that is somatogamy. There is no sexual organs. Sexual organs are absent. No male gametangium, female gametangium, no antheridium, no archegonium, no oogonium, no antheridium. Only the thallus, somatic cells, two somatic cells, two thallus are combined, come together and fuse with the conjugation tube. Conjugation tubes, conjugation, like Spirogyra. You know the Spirogyra? Conjugation in the Spirogyra. You see, the two opposite stain thallus are coming together and here attaching and the exchanging of the nucleus is taking place. You see the exchanging of the nucleus is taking place. You see the nucleus which are going from -10 to +10 to -10. Okay. You see here this cell having the two cells, dichordization. Two nucleus are there here. One from male stain, one from female. Both are there. Dichordization. Okay. That is advanced type of the sexual reproduction, which is there in the Basidiomycetes fungi, Marcella, Pedicella, Agaricus. There is a reduction. That means the sexual stages, sexual organs are decreasing or losing from lower fungi to higher fungi. Lower fungi, sexual organs are very dominant. In higher fungi, there is no sexual organs. Reduction in the sexual organs. Vegetative cells will be acting as a reproductive cells. Even in the vegetative cells, the plasmogamy, karyogamy, meiosis is taking place. This is the advanced one. This is the reproduction in fungi. Okay. This is the reproduction. Till now we have studied the thallus, structure, thallus organization, nutrition, classification, reproduction. Okay. Only one is economic importance is remained from the fungi. That we will discuss in the next week, next Saturday. Okay. All of you, have you listen? Okay, all of you, is it okay? Have you understood? Have you understood how? You have any doubt?
No,
If
sir.
you have any doubt, we can clarify. Okay. Now, shall we close?
Okay.
What we have studied, that all you should remember, or otherwise again you listen the YouTube link through the YouTube link. Okay. If you have any doubt, you again listen in the YouTube link that is there in the DROU site. If you have any
Sir,
doubt,
will you say
again,
any important questions?
these all are very important questions. Thallus organization in the fungi, reproduction
Okay,
in the fungi, nutrition in the fungi, essay questions, very important questions. Classification of the fungi. These 5 essay questions we covered today.
sir, once again, repeat, sir.
Thallus organization in the fungi
Okay, sir.
and nutrition of fungi.
Nutrition.
Classification of fungi.
Okay.
Reproduction of fungi. These are the essay questions. Most important questions.
Compulsory one.
Compulsory one question. Compulsory 2 questions will come. You have to write one.
Okay.
The compulsory question from this unit. This is the 3rd unit. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next 4th unit we will discuss in the next week. Okay.
Okay, sir.
2 days class we cover only 1 day. Within the 1 day. Okay. Okay, right. Bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, right.
Thank you.
Okay, right. And again, I have the class at 1:30. I have to take a second year class at 1:30. Okay. Oh, is that Sailaja ma'am from DROU? Was her iPhone. Okay. Bye.